Right. Hi, students. Good evening. Good evening, Lakshini as well. Lakshini had already sent me a good evening message sharp at 5:30. Right. So, good evening, everyone. Can someone please confirm whether you all can hear me, see me clearly? Everything is okay. We can start the class. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Lakshini. Thank you, Ziana. Thank you, everyone. Right. Give me a second. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Okay. Let's start. Where did we stop? Yes. Question number 23 is what we stopped, right? Comprehensive income statement and the balance sheet. So the financial statements extracts is what we need, right? So I hope you all can remember whatever we did last Monday. So let's quickly move on. I'll give you all 3 minutes. Okay. By 5:38. 5:38, I'll be back. So make sure you all are with the answers. Or else you all can send the answers in the chat box itself. Okay. By 5:38 max. Right. Okay, students. So let's move on to the answer. Lakshini and Ziana have given me the answers. Okay, I'm very happy. So there are two different answers, but one will be correct, one will be wrong. But I'm very happy. Okay, only one student will be correct, but I'm happy for both the students. Why? The reason is both have given at least the answers, right? Both have given at least the answers, right? So I'm very happy for both of them, right? So make sure others also try and give the answers, right? Okay. First of all, what we have to do, extractions of the trial balance, right? Okay. Additional information. First of all, make sure you go and check the additional information. Very important. Huh? Cost of unsold inventory as at 31st March 2023, 2.6 million. And on the same date, it was estimated its net realizable value as 3.2 million, right? Okay, 3.2 million is the NRV and the cost is 2.6 million, right? Why have they given? First of all, you have to understand why have they given this additional information. මේ මොකටද මේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ, right? දැන් ලියනවා නම් නවත්තන්න පෑනයි පැන්සල අතේ තියෙනවා නවත්තන්න. If you have a pen and pencil in your hand, please make sure you keep it at the side, right? මේක මොකටද දීලා තියෙන්නේ? Why have they given? First of all, you have to make sure you understand why have they given this is to find what? Yes, to find the cost of sales and inventory value. Right? මේකට තමයි මේක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So once you understand this, everything will be simple, right? And then we have not learned something called LKAS2, right? There is something called LKAS2 inventory. We will learn it in the future, right? We will learn it in the future, LKAS2. So what we have to do is, in this LKAS2, it says the inventory value should be lower of cost and NRV. Lower of cost and NRV, right? So it says the inventory value should be, the closing inventory value should be either lower of cost and NRV. So how much is the cost? 2.6 million. How much is the NRV? 3.2 million. What should we select out of this? Which one is the lower one? 2.6 million is the lower one, right? So we have to always use whatever the lower value. So this is what the standard says, right? So we have to go by the standard, accounting standard, right? Very simple. Now we have understood this. So we are moving on. So I erase these unnecessary things, right? Okay. So I'll go and erase these. Right, you go and erase this. Right, okay, give me a second. Right, okay, done. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to find two things, cost of sales and inventory. So to find cost of sales, what is the formula? We learned in our last class. In previous classes, we have learned what is the formula for closing stock. Sorry, cost of sales is opening stock plus purchases plus any expense minus closing stock. We have already learned this, මේවා අමතක වෙන්න බෑ ළමයි. Right? So how much is the opening stock? 1,600. How much is the closing stock? Can someone please tell me how much is the closing stock? Out of these two, how much is the closing stock? Ashini, Lakshini, Ziana. Arva is not there today. Can someone please tell me? Yes, very good, very good. 2.6 million. Thank you. Well done, Ashini. Right. Okay. And then how much is the purchases? Yes, purchases they have given 5,600. So Ziana, is your connection okay? Can you hear me clearly? Is everything okay? I hope everything is fine. Right, okay, very good. So make sure cost of sales, sorry, closing stock is always minus. So how much is the cost of sales? Yes, it is 4,600. Okay, so how much is your sales? Yes, your sales is, they have given, it is 8,000. They have given the 8,000 figure. And then the cost of sales, we have calculated 4,600. How much is the final balance? Yes, 3,400 is the final balance. So our financial statement, income statement extraction is finished. The next one is statement of financial position. Okay, under current assets, you put inventory and which value should you present? Anyone has an idea which value you should present? Ashini, Lakshini, Ziana? Which one should you present? Under inventory, this inventory should be the closing inventory. අවුරුද්ද අවසානයේ තියෙන භාණ්ඩවල වටිනාකම. It has to be the same amount, right? Whatever you use in the P&L, the same amount you should put here, 2,600. Huh? You can't put a different amount, right? Lower of cost and NRV. Right, very good, right, okay. Lower of cost and NRV is what you have to mention, right? So that's it, we are done. This is comprehensive, this is the income statement, this is the statement of financial position, right? Okay, very simple. Right, no worries, Lakshini. Right, okay, let's move forward. Fundamental rule of recording inventories. Now is what we are going to learn. Right, so let's move on to the next part. I hope you all have finished this. According to LKS2, inventory should be recorded at lower of cost and NRV. This is what we spoke. What is the concept? Prudence concept. Prudence concept kira monod. Does anyone know? Can anyone remember? We have learned. Can anyone remember what this prudence concept is? Does anyone, can someone remember? We have learned this. That means you all are forgetting. Yes, very good, very good. Ashini has given the perfect answer. You have to always record all the expected losses, right? So that is why you are recording the lowest value, right? That is why you are recording the lowest value. That is because you have to expect all this thing, right? When accounting for closing stock, following steps should be followed. Record the cost of inventory. Record the cost of inventory. Write down inventory to NRV. Record the cost of inventory. Write down the inventory to NRV. Right? So there are two ways in which you can record the closing stock. Number one is record the cost of NRV. There is another way, write down the inventory to NRV. So either you can use the cost, what this says is you can either use the cost or you can use NRV. But whichever is lower is what you have to use. Whichever is lower. මේක මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි. මේක අනිවාර්යෙන් exam එකේ එනවා. ආවේ නැත්තම් ආයි එන්නේ නැහැ කියලා නෑ. අනිවාර්යෙන් මේක A level paper එකේ මේක තියෙනවා. ආයි මම කිව්වා කියලා අන්න අද මතක තියාගන්න. හොඳේ. මේක cost සම්බන්ධයෙන් cost of sale සම්බන්ධයෙන් closing stock සම්බන්ධයෙන් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම එනවා A level paper එකේ. ආයි කිව්වේ නෑ කියන්න එපා. ආවේ නැත්තම් මට කියන්න මම ක්ලාස් කරන එකත් නවත්තන්න. හරි? මට එච්චරටම ෂුවර් මේක අනිවාර්යෙන් එනවා කියලා. Right? Okay. So I hope you all have written down. Right? Let's move on. Closing stock. Okay. When the NRV is lesser than the cost. Okay. NRV is lesser than the cost. So let's quickly write down stock account debit, trading account credit. And then here, write down the inventory to NRV, P&L debit, stock account credit, right? Make a ලියා ගන්න. Once we do the question, you will be able to understand. Okay? Make a නිකන් ලියා ගන්න. හොඳේ? And then if you are combining, you can write like this. Make sure you all are writing stock account debit, P&L P&L debit. Trading account credit. So this is the difference. මෙතන difference කියලා ලියා ගන්න. Difference, this amount is the cost, huh? Right? Okay. So I hope you all have finished writing, huh? I assume you all have finished writing. Let's move on to the next one, huh? Show the financial statement extractions for the same, right? Cost of the closing stock is 150,000, where its net realizable value, NRV, is 115, right? NRV is 115, okay? මේකට මොනවද කරන්නේ? Right? So I'm going to give you all another 3 more minutes. I'll be back at 5:57, okay? 5:57, I'll be back. Right? Okay, done. Right? Okay. So I'm going to discuss the answer. Right? So first of all, what we have to do, right? In this question, your cost is how much? 150. Your NRV is how much? 115. So your cost is how much? 150. Your NRV is 115. Right? So this is what has happened. Now, there is a rule where you have to always get the lower. No? මේකනේ දැන් මම කිව්වේ මෙතනින් lower amount එක නෙවා ගන්න ඕන. Right? මෙතනින් lower amount එක ගන්න ඕන. So the lower amount is 150. Right? But there is a rule where you have to use this value, the cost. Okay, you have to use the cost when NRV is lower than the cost. In previous questions, shall we go to the previous question? The NRV was lower. No, NRV was higher. See, NRV is higher than the cost. So this was the cost, this was the NRV. In the previous one also, right? No. So we had done only one proper one. Okay. Now NRV is lower. If NRV is lower, you have to use cost for trading, right? Trading account, right? So this is what we have done. Here you can see trading account. You have to use the cost. P&L, the difference, and stock should be NRV, right? Now you all wouldn't have, sometimes you all wouldn't have understood this. Let's go to the answer. Mukut liyanne epa lamai. Make sure y'all are not writing anything. Pana ate tiyaganne epa, right? Make sure y'all are just looking at me, focusing on what I'm doing. I'll give you all time to write. Okay, I'll give you all time to write. I'll give you all time to write. So make sure y'all are not writing anything. Whatever. If not, you all won't understand. Right? First of all, what we have to do. First of all, shall we finish it off the statement of financial position? SOFP. Very simple. SOFP. You put current assets. You put inventory. Which value you have to put? The lower of cost or NRV. The lower value. Which is the lower value? This is the lower value. 115 දැම්මා. මේක තේරුණාද ළමයි? Can everyone please confirm? Lakshini, Ashini, Ziana, මේක තේරුණා? One confirmation from everyone. Right? Okay, right. So we are going forward. Now in the income statement. Now, then තමයි important, na? Make sure you all are focusing. නැත්තම් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. First of all, there is sales, right? Record sales. How much is the sales? 800 they have given. Here they have given 800. And then you have to prepare the cost of sales. So how to get the opening stock? Opening stock balance have they given? Yes. Opening stock. They have given 120. Plus purchases have they given? That also they have given 600. දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Now comes the important part. Minus what you have to do? Closing stock. Now what we have to use is, we can't use this 115. We have to use how much? 150. 150. This is what you have to use. Focus. Keep focusing. Very important. If you don't focus, the game is over. How much is this? 570 is your cost of sales, the addition of these three. How much was your sales? Sales was 800. How much is your gross profit? 230. Now we have got the gross profit, right? Gross profit, the sales is here, cost of sales is here, right? We've got the gross profit. Now you all are thinking, sir, කිව්ව නේද අයියෝ මේ 115 ගන්න ඕන, අඩු එකනේ ගන්න ඕන, we have to always take the lower one. Now sir is telling to get the higher one. what is this? What sir is doing? You all will be thinking, right? In the beginning, sir said you have to take 115, which is the lower. You have to always take the lower. මෙහෙම නේද මම කිව්වේ? දැන් කියනවා අයියෝ සර් බොරු කියනවා නේද? සර් එහෙම ගත්තේ නෑනේ සර් මෙතන 150 ගත්තනේ මේක නෙමෙයිනේ lower. This is what you all are thinking right now. Okay? So now what we are going to do is we are going to adjust the difference. මේ දෙක අතර difference එක කීයද? Can someone please tell me quickly? I want all of you to tell me. මේ දෙක අතර වෙනස 150 115යි. Everyone, quickly. How much is the difference? Right, very good. Lakshini, Ziana, Ashini. All have said it is 35,000. මේක පහ වසර දෙක වසර ළමයෙක්ට කිව්වත් මේක කියයි it is 35,000. So what you have to do? Yes. Stock write off. Stock write off කියලා adjust කරනවා කීයද? 35ක් adjust කරනවා. Right? This is what we have mentioned here as difference. මෙන්න මේ difference කියලා දැම්මනේ. අන්න මේක තමයි මේ difference එක. Right, ළමයි? So now you take this 150 and you take this 135. What is the net amount? The net amount is 115. තේරුණාද ළමයි? Very simple. තේරුණාද? Is everything okay? Can I move forward? Right, now it's your time to write it down. Huh? Please take this down so that we can quickly go forward. Okay. Right, I hope you all have completed this and I am moving on to the next one. Right, moving on to the next one. I hope you all have completed. මොනාරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබ්බනම් chat box එකේ දාන්න. Right, okay. So the next one is the same one. I'm giving you all 2 minutes. වැඩි නෑ විනාඩි 2යි දෙන්නේ. By 6:10 you should have finished this. Yes. Okay. So students, right. So shall we move on to the answer? Right. Very simple. The value that you should show in the SOFP is how much? Very simple. SOFP, the value should be under current assets. It has to be 125. Well done, Lakshini and Ziana. Both have given correct answers. Let's move on to the income statement. Right, income statement. So how much is the sales? 900. ඊට පස්සේ, what is the next one? Yes, cost of sales. You have to find the opening stock. 200. Purchases 700. Closing stock should be, as I said, it has to be 150, yeah, not 200. Why? Because the NRV is lower, right? So how much it is? Total, it is 750. And then how much is the gross profit? 150, right? And then the difference you put as write-off, stock write-off, how much? Very simple, it is 25, right? Very simple, done, game over, right? Very simple. Right, so I hope this is very straightforward and you all have taken down. Lakshini and Ziana have already given correct answers, right? So I don't think this is a big thing, right? So let's move on to the next part. I hope you all have also taken this down, right? Done. So adjustments for inventory drawings, right? Okay, so please write it. When preparing the trading account, for the purpose of calculating the gross profit, business has to remove all the unsold inventory from the cost of sales. This is called matching concept. Right? So make sure you all write it down quickly. Right. Now, does anyone here knows why do we deduct this? දැන් මේ 150ක් කියලා අඩු කරනව නේද? මේ closing stock එකක් කියලා අඩු කරනව නේද? Does anyone know the logic? මේකේ logic එක දන්නවද කවුරු හරි? You all can open your mic and speak, huh? I'm open to that. I've always said y'all, buy නැතුව කතා කරන්න if y'all want. මේ කවුරු හරි දන්නවද මේ closing stock එක ඇයි මේක මේ minus කරන්නේ? මේ logic එක දැනගන්න එපා. නැත්නම් නිකන් කටපාඩම් කරලා ගිරව වගේ කරලා වැඩක් නැහැනේ. No? I want you all never to memorize anything for accounting. Business studies, if you all want, you all can memorize. ICT, you all can memorize. Economics, you all can memorize. But accounting, you all can't memorize. The question is, make closing stock. I have minus it, right? අඩු කරනෝනේ. ඇයි? මේක logic එක මොනවද? ඇයි? කවුරු හරි දන්නවද මේ logic එක මොනවද කියලා? Closing stock එක minus නේ කරන්න හැමතිස්සෙම. From cost of sales. මේක දානවනේ opening stock plus purchases minus closing. ඇයි මේ minus? Why? Anyone has an idea? Yes, very good. Lakshini has given the answer. What about others? Right? I am someone who always teaches with logic. Huh? Logic එකත් එක්ක තමයි උගන්වන්නේ හැමතිස්සෙම. I am someone who doesn't want you all to remember, to memorize. No. I have to remember but not memorize. Yes, very good. Ziana has also given the correct answer. Right? So let's move on. ඇයි මොනවද හේතුව? Yes. Because it is not sold. විකුණලා නැහැ. Not sold. Cost of sales means whatever the sales, whatever the items that you have sold, for this, what is the cost? Closing stock, have you sold? No. Closing stock means whatever the stock that is available for you. Right? So make sure this is the reason. ඔයා විකුණපු නැති දෙයකට වට cost එකක් කියලා අපිට දාන්න බෑ. Right? That is ඔයා විකුණලා නැත්තම් ඒකට cost එකක් නැහැ. Right? Cost of sales means ඔයා විකුණපු දේවල් වලට විතරයි cost එක තියෙන්නේ. So that is the reason. Logic, everything is logical. If someone didn't understand, please make sure you all ask me again. Right, okay. So let's move on to the next one. What is the double entry for drawings? Goods drawings? Drawings account debit. Trading account credit. Right? And then adjustment cost of damaged inventory. What you should do? Yes. So you don't need to write this. Here down we will write. Okay. Down we will write. So cut this. Put this. What is this accounting concept? Matching concept. Why? You have to match the expenses with the income. Next one, write it down. Cost of damaged inventory. What is the double entry? Yes. Damaged stock, debit, trading account, credit. Insurance claim approved. That means when you receive insurance claim for the damaged inventory, you all know what is insurance. Insurance means whatever the damage that you have, you can get a claim for that. Okay. So if you get an insurance claim, cash account debit, damaged stock, credit. This is an expense account. This is also an expense account. Right. So next one, whatever the loss that is there after the insurance claim, P&L debit, stock damage, credit. You write these double entries. Once we do the next question, you will be able to understand. Right? Okay. So the next one, I'll give you all 2 minutes. Okay. I'll give you all 2 minutes. By 6:26, I'll come back. Huh? Right? Okay, students. Very simple. First, we'll finish off the SOFP. Right? Let's move on to the second adjustment. Cost of stock 900,000, but on the same date, the NRV was 870. So you have to always put the NRV here. 900, sorry, 870. 870. And then income statement. How much is the sales? 2,300. Opening stock is how much? 800 plus purchases 1200 minus closing stock. How much should the closing stock be? 900 the 870. Come on. NRV is lower than the cost. What you should do here? Come on. I need answers from all three of you all quickly. 900 the 870 the. We have done this same thing previously. Wrong, wrong. It has to be 900. Huh? Why? Yes, it has to be 900. Why? Go and check the previous question. If it is lower, if the NRV is lower, you have to always go with the cost and then you have to adjust it down. Okay, so make sure these are small mistakes that you all don't make. And then one more thing. During the year, 50,000 worth inventory has been damaged. What you should do? Yes. Metana dano 50,000 as damaged. Damage kila dano 50 dano. And then here, what you should do? What you should do? Yes. Stock damage kila dano 30,000. Right? Stock damage kila dano 30,000. And then what else? Yes, the difference. Can you remember the difference? Write off. Sorry, it is 30. This is 50, no? This is 50, huh? Make up dano, metana make 50 metana dano, metana 30 ka dano. Very simple, straightforward one. And then you tally. Make a terunada lamai. Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? Terunada? Ashiniputa? Is everything okay? Okay, so 1050 is your cost of sales. How much is your gross profit? 2,300 this one minus the cost of sales. How much is it? 1,250. 1,250 is your gross profit. Right? Make a terunada. Tamai. Very simple one. Right? Very simple one. Huh? So now it's your time to take it down. Let's quickly move on to the next question. Right? Okay. One thing I have forgotten. What is that? One thing I have forgotten to do. What is that? Yes. If there is a damage inventory, you have to put this damage here as well. Huh? මෙතනත් දාන්න ඕන මේ 50. Huh? Okay. Why? In statement of financial position, this is not the actual value. This is the net amount is the actual value. Okay. Clear? Right. Right. So make sure you all do this adjustment. Huh? I was waiting for you all to tell me. කවුරුත් මේ කිව්වේ නැහැ. How can the value be 870? The value is after the damage inventory, right? Okay, so you have to put the damage inventory value also. Understood, Lamai? All okay? Can I move forward? තේරුම් නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවද? ලක්ෂිනි සියානා අශිනි තේරුම් නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවද? Right. I hope everyone is okay. Right. So let's move on to the next one. Huh? Next one. Right. Next one also I'm giving you all 2 minutes. Huh? 6:35 I'll be back. Right. Okay, students. Right. So let's go to the question. Right. Very simple. First of all, let's do the SOFP thing. What should be your NRV? Your NRV is 2,500. The lower amount you should record here. And then your income statement. Right. Okay. Yes. Your inventory should be 2,500. And then your income statement. And then income statement. First of all, what you should do? To go for sales. How much is the sales? Clearly given 9,600. Cost of sales. Opening stock 2,200. Purchases 8,600. During the year, 200,000 worth of inventory has been damaged, right? Okay, we will see that later, right? And then how much is the closing stock? Closing stock kiyada 2,600. Right? And then now we are going to look at the adjustments. During the year, 200,000 worth inventory has been damaged. 75% has been approved as insurance claim. 75% has been approved as insurance claim. So how much is the damage inventory? Damage inventory is 200 here. Right? And then you have to record damage inventory under the other expense as 200. And then where else you have to record damage inventory? Can someone please tell me? Quickly. Damage inventory එක තව කොහෙටද දාන්න ඕන? Come on. I need answers from Ashini, Ziana, Lakshini quickly. Damage inventory කොහරද දාන්න ඕන quickly? Yes, very good. Right? Damage. Very good, Ashini. Damage inventory here under this. Right? Done. And then there is an insurance claim. Insurance claim එකට මොනවද කරන්නේ? Before that, we have to do one more thing. What is that? The difference. Write off. Write off එක මතකද? මොනවද write off එක? 2,600, 2,500. The difference. 100 මෙතන දැම්මා. තව මොනවද? Yes, this is where you have to put the write off value. Right? Stock write off value. This is where you have to put it. Only one place. Right? So now this 2,600 and this 100 is telling. If you take this 2,600 and 100, this is 2,500. This is also 2,500. Both are telling. Make a tally when known. Right? Okay. And then what else? Yes, the insurance claim. 75% is how much? 75% of 200 is how much? Come on, quickly, guys, tell me. Insurance. So these are minus, we'll put as expense. How much is insurance? Come on, quickly tell me. Ziana is given. Lakshini, Ashini. Quick. Everyone, quick answers. Ayyo. මේක පහවසට ශිෂ්‍යත්ව ළමයෙකුට දුන්නත් කියයි මේක උත්තරේ මොනවද කියලා. Come on, quick. Ko, Ashiniගේ ලක්ෂණිගේ උත්තරයක් නැහැ. How much is the insurance? 75% of 200. Come on. අයියෝ පරක් කරන්න එපා ළමයි. Come on, quick. Lakshini may be having a connection issue. අයියෝ මොනවද මේ? 50,000 නෙමෙයි. 75% of loss has been approved as insurance claim. Making 75% නම් කීයද? 150යි. Right? So this is the insurance, 150. You have to record here. The insurance, you have to record it in the P&L as an income, insurance income. And where else you have to record? Come on. Where else you have to record? Insurance. Can someone please tell me? Yes. Insurance receivable is an asset. Right? You have to record it in the SOFP also. 150. Right? Okay. So we are done. Now we are going to calculate. So how much is this? 8,000 is your cost of sales. How much is your gross profit? Yes, no problem, Lakshini. I hope you have understood everything. 1,600. Very simple. Very simple. Done. Right. Done. Huh? Complete. Quickly write this answer. Right. So we are finishing the class, stopping the class for today. Right. So this Sunday we will be meeting as in our usual time at 8 a.m. We will be starting the class. Right. So we will be starting from here. Right. We will be starting from here this Sunday. Right. This Sunday we will be starting from here. So I hope everything is clear for you all. Right. So all the best. Let's meet on Sunday morning. Yes, you all are welcome.